New Year's Eve that left nearly a dozen ambulances unstaffed and supervisors scrambling for help. Well, one D.C. council member is now asking the mayor and the fire chief to do something now, even if it means taking disciplinary action. Fox 5's Maureen Newman has the story.
Our firefighters are paid to do a job, and there's just no acceptable excuse of how this happens.
D.C. Councilmember Tommy Wells is angry, upset that the safety of district residents was put in jeopardy New Year's Eve when more than 100 firefighters called in sick. Wells, who has oversight for judiciary and public safety in the district, says he met with the deputy mayor, fire chief, and the head of the firefighters union Friday to try to get to the bottom of what happened.
We did not have an unusual case of the flu going on through the fire department. This was a choice made by our employees, and it was definitely not sanctioned by the union. I've been assured of that by the head of the union. This is something the firefighters chose to do on their own, and it's absolutely unacceptable.
11 ambulances went unstaffed, forcing supervisors to ask for help from Prince George's County. The gap created chaos. A 71-year-old man at this house on 44th Place Southeast waited 40 minutes for an ambulance. The Air Force veteran later died of a heart attack. And on Lang Place Northeast, a stabbing victim was transported to the hospital in a fire truck.
Our residents pay for city services. We have we've got a firefighting department along with ambulance services, and I expect to be fully staffed.
While union officials deny it was a coordinated stick-out, they say the trouble could have been avoided if the department had staffed up as it did in recent years. Cost-cutting measures and low morale have been issues between the firefighters union and fire chief. But Councilmember Wells says a stick-out isn't the way to make a point. He says action, including perhaps disciplinary measures, must be taken now to send a clear message.
I expect this will not happen again. And if it does, I know that we're in contract negotiations around the services for our employees. I understand also that if you want to work for DC government, especially in emergency services, you have to show the kind of commitment that we expect as an employer, as a city, and as residents of this great city.
Maureen Newman, Fox 5 News.
Now to a news alert out of Fairfax County. Police believe the serial fondler may have struck again. The latest assault happened last night in the 4400 block of Briarwood Court. That's right near Patriot Drive in Annandale. Police believe a man grabbed a female jogger after the woman yelled. The man took off. This would be the 15th assault in Fairfax County by the serial fondler. If you recognize this man, call police.
Thousands gathered today to remember a Virginia police officer killed in the line of duty. Prince William County motorcycle officer Chris Young died in an accident New Year's Eve. Today, his friends, family, and colleagues from all over gathered in Woodbridge to honor his sacrifice. Fox 5's John Henry reports.
Ceremonial units of bagpipers assembled at the Hilton Memorial Chapel in Woodbridge to remember a fallen motorcycle officer. 35-year-old Chris Young was responding to a call on New Year's Eve in Bristow when his bike collided with a minivan. A firing party on a nearby hill honored the former Marine, and a lone bugler sounded taps. Reporters were asked to remain outside during the funeral, but an audio feed supplied the many testimonies to the character of the 7-year policeman.
He wanted people to be safe. A few years ago, we received a message of thanks from a woman who had been in distress with her disabled vehicle off a very busy road. Off duty, Chris stopped and helped the woman. Not only that, but the road was so busy that I had to go past the vehicle, turn around, and return to provide her and her daughter assistance.
Chris Young's brother, Dale, is also a police officer with Prince William County. Dale Young offered an emotional tribute to his brother's always sunny disposition.
As you guys all know, he had that smile. That smile that could light up any room, brighten any day. If you were having a bad day, you could count on Chris and put a smile on your face.
The assembled crowd heard a final unanswered radio call over the loudspeakers. The dispatcher's voice then declared Officer Chris Young to be cleared from further duties. His widow and 3 young children were escorted to a police cruiser, and a long procession, which included a riderless motorcycle, then wound its way through Prince William County. John Henry, Fox 5 News.
Officer Young will be buried tomorrow in a private ceremony in Charlottesville. A retired Prince George's County firefighter and a homeowner's dog are being hailed heroes. heroes for saving a woman's life. Smoke coming from this house on Pond Meadow Lane in Bowie caught the attention of Lieutenant Billy Mills. Lieutenant Mills rushed to the house where he found a dog directing him to the back door. Inside, he found a disabled woman and pulled her to safety. She was taken to the hospital to be treated. The fire destroyed her home. No word yet on the cause.
We are getting closer and closer to kickoff. Sunday's battle with Seattle will be the first Redskins playoff game in the Mike Shanahan